This, I haven't even started yet. Okay, this is just cheap old tissue paper. It just makes another beautiful surface to paint on.
The leaf is pretty.
Yeah, didn't that come out nice?
Let's see if we make it looking nice and leafy. Margaret will come up here.
Looks like that.
This is gel medium.
Yogurt.
Can't mistake it for your yogurt. At home, I buy it by the gallons, so I'm not going to carry around a gallon with me.
Accidentally put it in the freezer.
Yeah.
Now, when I do tissue paper, I don't just take one big sheet and put it down. It's much more interesting to use.
What kind of paper is that? Is that an napkin?
Tissue paper,
Tissue, like gift tissue, gift tissue.
you know, like you can go to Dollar Tree and just buy a package of tissue, white tissue paper. You can buy colors. There's just
I know it was the orange color, white ones were.
just
White tissue.
cheap tissue paper.
Like from the shirt box. Color one will bleed out. Everything. You got that wet, it's everywhere. Red, blue, tissue.
Now, as I'm putting down this tissue, I'm layering it on top of each other. I'm putting down some gel, and then I'm putting gel on top of the tissue.
She's got too much dye in the tissue paper. It'll be everywhere. She got white. She's just layering white with some yogurt. It's yogurt. It says it's yogurt.
She's using on top. What would be texture?
Some white paste or something. Gel.
Oh, the illustration
I have that at
is
home.
oil.
Clear gel medium.
Oh, yes.
I have a
Absolutely.
project.
That is the
Gel medium,
illustration.
Susan
It
Shealy.
looks always like you've done a watercolor, you know, it hasn't wiped it off.
This is thick.
It is hard.
It's like a thick glue. I don't know if it's tacky. It doesn't look too sticky.
We have that.
Just one. See how it's going?
Melissa
I'll have to see how much it
dressed on his.
takes out. It's a tissue texture in white. Paint that after.
And the base,
You're making your base
you
on
get
it.
your drawings done, everything is done.
But that could take hours.
A little bit of your pencil is done.
Before you do a lot of color.
And then you're already down with the next day.
We'll let this dry a little bit, then I'll pass it around. And if it gets dry enough before I leave, I'll paint it.
What is that?
That's the tissue paper
That's the next day.
put down with gel.
That's pretty.
Yeah.
That's watercolor paper?
Yeah, this is just plain watercolor paper. If you're going to do a lot of layering with things, you know, I suggest you use a canvas or a board. I've used pieces of wood. Like I'll treat a piece of wood with gesso, and then use that to layer papers or things, whatever, you know, doodads. But you can layer, and this gel is a great glue. You can just embed anything into it. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Oh, he wasn't there. But I had her in she was the instructor. She had invited him. She could start.
I don't know. I guess you need to do this right now. It's right on this.
And to her surprise,
Because it looks like
he
an angel.
had us do it down.
It's the
She
shape
did
of an
it
angel.
down.
I would do an angel and the highlights and it just make it Yeah, textured angel with the wings and the gown. That's what I was seeing in it.
Amazing.
Mark, look at those spray bottles. We're not gonna get the spray on. I like the purple, pink, and yellow. And it's a mist. A little one. She sits out. Yeah. 1 ounce mixture. It's a pump spray.
The basements and everything.
Illustration. They look like watercolor. Sticks.
Okay, this is a oil pastel.
That would be like a resist.
It's a resist.
The oil pastel will resist the watercolor spray.
And watercolor paint. Its colors are really brilliant. It's covering up my pastel. I like to use paraffin for a resist, but I can't find my piece of paraffin I brought with me. Sorry.
It's probably just right, it's clear. It's probably just sitting right there.
Okay, well that one's not resisting so much, but you can use oil. Ooh, scare me. You can use oil pastels or paraffin and paint over it, and it will resist the paint. If you use watercolors or acrylics.
Marie, have you used the melted paraffin for resist?
I'm sorry?
Melted paraffin?
No, just paraffin.
I melted, use a jaunting tool with it.
Do you? Oh, yeah, you can do that, yeah. I don't do that. But yeah, there's a lot of different ways you can use it. Of course, I have my stash of stencils and stamps. This is one of my favorites. This is a sponge roller, and I've put a rubber band around it.
You sit up all night thinking of all these unique ways to do things?
I do, I really do. And I've just, picked up a lot of things over the years, yeah. You do, you go to demos or classes or read books and talk to people, and then, or you see something that inspires you to do something else.
Sure you're drinking the right one.
I know, just make sure I don't stick my paintbrush in there.
I do that, yep. I think we've all done it. You got 2 hours.
But it's not toxic.
No.
You know, people look at that and like, it's like, they say, how did you do that? Well, it's very painstaking.
Trade secret.
Oh, cool.
Here's my road. Yeah. It's like, yeah, wasn't that hard? Of course, here's one of my little people. I cut him out of a sponge. They used to have, I haven't seen them in a while, flat sponges. They're great, you can cut them out. I've got a pile full of stamps made out of them at home. He does have a mate somewhere. I'm not sure where she is.
So you dipped him in water first?
Yeah, I did. I wet him first.
You're using your acrylic now?
Uh-huh. Yeah, this is acrylic. No, he doesn't want pink. Let's see what he does.
She made its face flash color.
There.
Cute.
He's a cute little guy.
Oh.
Yeah. His mate's missing. This is a painting I did.
He came real cute.
Where is it? I did about 3 of these in this particular style, and my friend used it for the cover of her book because she wanted like to have that people connection on her book.
Nice.
Yeah, but that was done with the sponges. It's the boy and the girl.
Is that on you, Poe?
And that's on paper.
Paper?
Yeah.
You know, I like those shirts with the colors.
Where do you find the flat sponges?
Good question. I don't know. I bought a whole package once, and yet I haven't seen them to buy. Sometimes people give them away as you know, like advertising.
Company,
So whenever you see a flat sponge, grab it.
It's acrylic on
I was in Dollar Tree one day, and they had this whole package of erasers in different shapes. So I bought them and carved them out.
Yes.
makes like a stamp.
That's actually the right side of your working, the proper side of your brain working.
It's a stamp. Dead. Don't know what that is.
But you know, you gotta be thinking outside the box, you know.
Good.
And
That's awesome.
Ken's always telling me, you can't hear that. Because I go into the garage and my grandmother.
Want to hold it up? No, it's okay. Can you take it down my finger? There. What is the name of it? I'm good on Facebook, yeah. Yeah, the artist. That's nice. Oh, I got her business card.
And this is a cork. That's got a date on it. I wonder if that will come out.
Goes for you to the demo. Stands like.
So
Oh, that looks good.
that's a stamp that I carved out of an eraser. There's like 5 or 6 in a package. They're all different shapes.
Yeah,
At Dollar Tree.
yeah,
So I have all these different shapes. I just walk through Dollar Tree and see what I can,
sure.
get used for art supplies. It's amazing. And then that's the cork.
Oh, the cork is good.
Yeah.
Carved wood.
We have to use everything. Oh, I forgot I have this box I'm carrying around. Hello. Okay. Now, I don't like to buy commercial stamps, so whenever I see something like this, it was attached to a to-go box. And I use this for a stamp.
Wow,
Because then, you buy commercial things and you're going to see another painting with the same thing in it,
Yeah, no,
right?
doggy bag.
Right. Yeah, make sure whenever you go out to eat that you look at their to-go boxes.
I've never seen one with a design.
Yeah, they have designs. Yeah.
Let's see what happens. Oh, good.
Wow, cool.
And everybody's going to rush out and look to the nearest restaurant. Can I see your to-go boxes? And then you'll start rating your kids' or grandkids'
Considerably.
puzzle boxes.
Just the colors.
Kid's gonna be missing a piece and, oh, grandma has it. I guess grandpa left, so I'm not insulting him.
And we can't use somebody else's trademark, but that's not a trademark. But you can take the plain styrofoams and just, the flat pieces, and you can carve into the cuttings to it, and then you can.
It's got a little handle. Yeah, a little handle. That's good. You have to know how to make it.
Hmm?
Are you sure? Painters.
I put a tab on
Yeah,
this so I could push it down and pull it up.
tab, it's a tab.
But that's what that looks like.
Paint tab, it's a paint tab. That's good to know.
Oh, there's grandpa. Yeah, it's great. Kids, we were talking about grandpas and grandmas.
That looks good. Get a picture of that one.
Does it give you some ideas for your own paintings?
We're all gonna search our junk drawer.
These have ended up in paintings too.
And Trashy Treasures is coming too.
Yeah.
Now we know what to look for Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah. All kinds of wonderful. This is only just a small fraction of what I own. I just brought a few things with me. That's another Go box. This one's beautiful.
How's that one? Is that a new camera?
Just go to that one restaurant. Publix.
Yeah. Love, it's good. You got a good picture. Oh.
Is that cool?
You make a dish out of that. Wouldn't that be beautiful?
Uh-huh. Yep. Yeah, and then I'll let the paint dry on it because it makes beautiful texture. And eventually it could go into a painting. I don't know. Yeah, just have all these things around. Let's see what's going to work and what's not going to work. It's the ultimate in recycling.
Especially if you're on a budget.
Well, that's the wrap from your coffee cup.
Yeah, do you know what that's called?
I
Do you know what that's called?
don't know, heat cup, whatever. Sleeve,
It's a zarf.
a zarf.
This is a zarf.
This is a zarf.
Z-A-R-F. At home, I belong to a writing group, and we gathered together and we put a book together, and the name of it is a zarf. It was one of the words that we got for one of our writings, and we were supposed to use it in our writing. None of us knew what a zarf was. But that's what that would look like. Then we have Old Faithful bubble wrap. I'm sure everybody knows about printing with bubble wrap. We just don't want to use too much of it because we don't want people to say, oh, that's bubble wrap.
So you don't like it? My dog is scared of that.
We'll see how interesting that. Of course, this piece has lots of paint on it, so it's giving it a little more texture, which is more fun. Yeah, but yeah, if you use bubble wrap, use it very, paint over it, make it part of it go away. I went to an art show once, and this woman had used bubble wrap in her painting, and I looked at it and said, "Hey, that's bubble wrap." She won an award, by the way.
Small bubbles, big bubbles.
Now, if you're using circles in your paintings, use circles that are different, like different sizes or different textures. Like this is a different This is a different bubble.
Maybe we get about 10 more minutes, okay?
I'm sorry?
About 10 more minutes?
Sure, however long you want me to be here. That's, now if I were making a real painting, it would be, you know, I could use those, and I could use those, maybe a stamp, you know, or make my own circles. I do make my own circles sometimes.
Was that a piece of ribbon? What was it that you just?
Yes, this is, it's that ribbon from, usually they sell it around Christmas time. And do you know how this is made? This is the leftovers, they stamp out sequins out of this. Yeah.
How interesting.
Is that interesting? I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they sell the ribbons, like nothing goes to waste. But I bought this at Michael's one year after Christmas. It was like really cheap for this big roll, so I had this huge roll at home. Oh yeah, here's another leaf I pulled out of the yard. Let's see, is this ready to pass around? All right, we can pass this one around. This has got the glass bead gel on it and the pastel ground, but don't touch it because it is still wet. But I just want you to see the difference there. And this one's almost dry. You can see how pretty that is, and especially in the light. No, it's not dry.
Don't touch it, don't touch it.
If you do, it's okay. You're just going to get gooey stuff on your fingers.
Everybody needs gooey fingers.
Right, right. By the end of the day, I'm like peeling it off. Okay, so this is what I do with leftover paint. I don't like to throw anything away. I don't like to throw my paint away. So I just have this roll of paper, and sometimes I'll just paint on tissue paper or, you know, all kinds of paper. But then I have that, and I have it if I need the color for collage. So nothing goes to waste. Or I make cards out of it. You know, just cut a piece out and glue it down, and it becomes a card. Yeah.
You could wrap a gift with it.
You can wrap a gift with it. Pardon me?
What kind of roll of paper is that? Like
You know, this,
shelf paper?
Like a rice?
no, it's a rice paper.
Japanese?
It's a Chinese, probably rice paper, and I bought it at Michael's, and you know I can't find it anymore.
It's what the Subier people.
It's a it's for Sumi ink, and I ordered some online, and it's not the same. This is good rough
That's a
paper.
good thick,
Yeah,
real thick.
and the one that I got online is like really thin. I have
That's
to really-
almost like material.
Yeah.
That's almost like cotton.
Are you cutting out pieces of it?
Yeah, I'll cut out pieces, like, especially if I'm working on a piece and I need the color
Almost water.
to go somewhere else in the painting, I can stick a piece on
Like a
this.
flag. It's like a flag texture,
Yeah,
like a flag.
I used a piece of this in a show, and because it was a flag.
You know those material garden flags like that? I don't know if it's waterproof for weather, but
Big one.
Which one? This one?
you could leave it out in the rain, Margaret, but it's pretty
Here, you
thick.
can pass that around
Look
if
at
you
the
want.
thickness.
She's got some small ones over there.
Feel that?
This one?
That's not too
Yeah,
thin.
put it
Yeah.
under the light so we can see
Mulberry?
it.
Is it mulberry? It's a woodland. It's almost got like a polish.
This one? Okay, this one I started, I put the paper down. This was newspaper that I painted. It was Chinese newspaper that I painted with leftover paint. You know, it's like always have something around you. Put your leftover paint on.
The regular paper that I have,
So I collaged that down, then I sprayed it with the watercolor.
it's,
And then I said, it needs something more, so I took my black, I think that's a pastel, and doodled on it.
I don't know.
Yeah, that was a fun piece to do.
I love that in the garden.
That's intuitive.
In the garden.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Autumn is so pretty.
And my mom has.
I want to use some of those. What do you use to glue your paper on?
I don't know.
What, these?
Yeah.
These are just different pieces. I use, you can use Elmer's, but make sure you use Elmer's glue, not the school glue. Don't use school glue because it will yellow. But you can use depends on what you're gluing. Elmer's like 50-50 water, 50 water, 50 Elmer's. I use a lot of the gel, only because I have it out all the time. This one I did, it probably started out as a demo, and then I wove some pieces together and put that, here, you can, here. Music.
Yeah, good. Let us see them all. No, just, I asked if she was still a member of Margot.
Wine labels.